about to leave. Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're starting out this makeup look with some Caudalie Beauty Elixir to freshen up the face. Next, I'm using my Tatcha the Liquid Silk Canvas to prime my face. I always add a primer underneath any foundation, no matter what type it is. So I smooth this all over my face, making sure that it gets everywhere, and then I go in with my e.l.f. Camo CC cream. This is in shade Light 240, and I love this product. It is relatively cheap. I believe it's $20 for a tube, but it has full coverage. So when I first put this on, when I was editing it, I noticed that it didn't really match my skin tone because it had a little bit more of a yellow tone, and it was so light. But as I blend it out, you'll notice that it just kind of tends to mix well with your skin. It doesn't really matter if it's off a little bit, and it is always better to have a lighter foundation on your face because you want your neck to have a little bit more of a shadow. So I'm using my kabuki brush to blend this out really, really well, and part of me thinks that I probably should go back into the sponge, but I always feel like if I have a damp sponge on top of this application that it just kind of comes off again. So I think that's why I didn't, but the coverage is amazing. You'll see that my pigmentation is covered up on like just after one go. So it's crazy how good that stuff is. For concealer, I'm using my Kosas Creamy Revealer Concealer. This is the shade 004. And I do go very light on this. I only put it a little bit around my nose because I have some veins there to cover up, but mostly around my eye area to cover up any of my dark circles. And then sometimes I bring it up on the lid to prep for shadow, although today I am not using any eyeshadow. I just wanted a nice clean slate so everything looked pretty. Okay, and then next we are going to powder the face. So I actually don't show which powder I'm using in this video, but I am using the Hourglass Veil translucent loose powder, and it is very finely milled, and I find that it works really, really well, especially with like for creasing. And that Kosas Creamy Revealer Concealer is so good for not creasing. Okay, now we're doing brows. I start with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Whiz to kind of darken up my eyebrows, just kind of give them some shape because like I don't actually go overboard. I used to. I was looking back at previous videos and I noticed how big my eyebrows used to be, but now I think they're perfect. I usually just stay within the shape of my brow, and I just kind of outline the front and give the tail a little bit of oomph, and then I go over it with my Benefit brow gel. And so that just kind of helps to keep them in place, and it also spreads out the brow wiz a little bit too, I find, just to make it a little bit more even, and your brows look a little bit more natural when you apply this product on top of it. Okay, next we're going in with some eyeliner, which I did super, super quick. That was my Smashbox Always On Gel Liner in the black shade. My Too Faced Better Than Sex goes on right after. I just ended up spraying my face with some setting spray because I always like doing that kind of in between steps. So here I'm applying my Too Faced Better Than Sex Black Liquid Liner, and this is going to let the lashes I put on later to adhere better. And it also kind of gives your eyes a boost. So if you want to make them darker and not have like squinty eyes, the best way is to use black liner on the top lash line, and then it really helps to open your eyes. It helps to make the lash line look darker so your eyelashes look bigger and longer and darker, and there's a whole bunch of benefits to it. And this one I believe is waterproof, but I can't remember exactly. I believe it is though. Okay, so the next step, as soon as I'm done this part here, is to go in with the lips. So I'm using this Milani Color Statement Lip Liner in 09 Spice. It has been my go-to forever. It's relatively cheap. I believe it's under $5, and you can get it at, I get it at my Rexall Drug Center, so I'm not really sure if all stores carry it, but Rexall does for sure here in Canada. And it's just like a perfect tone. It's a spice color, but it's very neutral, it's very pretty, and it goes with a lot of different lipstick colors. So I'm outlining my lips, and I very rarely use lipstick, but I will surprise you in this video because I go in with this really, really old, but one of my favorite lipsticks ever by Too Faced. It's the Peach Perfect brand, and the shade name is Got Peach, and this is probably my favorite color. I love the peach line from Too Faced. When they first came out, it was like my ultimate favorite. So for blush, I'm using the Rising Stars blush palette by Nars. This is a limited edition, and I don't believe it's available anymore, but I'm so glad I got my hands on it. There were some people saying that it didn't have a very good color payoff, but sometimes I think that's not a terrible thing because then you can't always overdo it with blush. But as you can see, I kind of build up the color, and I like a nice flush when it's just lipstick and I'm not actually wearing eyeshadow on my eyes. I like to have this kind of like darker cheek. It just kind of looks really good in my opinion. Okay, so then I'm going to add a little bit of highlighter. I do go back in with this highlighter at the end to do the inner corners once I get my eyelashes on, but I'm using a highlighter brush to apply some lightness to the tops of my cheekbones. I go in with the tip of my nose, the bridge of my nose, a little bit on my Cupid's bow, and then a tiny bit on my chin. This is the compact Mary Lou by the Balm. It has been my fave go-to highlighter like ever, and it also is the first one I hit palette on or hit pan on, so it's been a definite favorite. So I'm just touching up my lips here. Sometimes it's almost good to go over your lips. If you put lipstick on first and then put lip liner, it's amazing. So I'm spraying my face one more time here, and then I'm going in with my mascara. So I will pop that on, and then I do lashes right after. And the last step, of course, is my Ambient lighting powder by Hourglass. And it just kind of gives your face this beautiful like all over sheen and just kind of makes you look like you're glowing from within. The very last step is to go in with a little bit of highlighter under the brow bone and on the inner corners of the eyes. And that is everything for this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, click the subscribe button, click the bell button, and I will see you guys later. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know.